Hey gang, welcome to another edition of Doc Schlock, where it's a review of the movie Attack of the Giant Leeches. Something hungry is in the water. It's not piranha, it's not sharks, it's not alligators, it's giant leeches. This, of course, is a remake of the Roger Corman movie that was done around, I believe it was 1959. And though I have not seen the Roger Corman original version after seeing this one, I really want to watch the original. Well, this one is about a couple of people named Scott and Gracie who are investigating what on earth and why on earth there are people seeming to be completely drained of blood. And normally you would think probably hundreds of leeches, but it turns out it's giant leeches. And Gracie's dad, who's sort of a scientist, knows what to do, knows how to stop them, the whole 9 yards. But, as you would expect, there's a sheriff of this town named Bucky, who is, of course, skeptical and doesn't want to help out because he is not too big on either Scott or Gracie, because Bucky and Gracie had a thing at one time, and now Bucky resents her and hates Scott's guts and this whole 9 yards. And so, yeah, so if you go in the water, near the water, the leeches will attack you, suck the blood right out of you, and leave just your lifeless corpse behind. So finally, Gracie's dad figures out how to stop the leeches by doing what else to giant sea creatures? Blowing it up. And then they think to themselves they've got a victory, but it turns out there's still one giant leech that latched on to Mary, who I believe... she's not a very good person in this movie, I'll put it to you this way. I believe she was... down by the lake. Her husband caught her cheating on him, and I think he gave him the option to leave town, and one of the leeches got Mary's lover and got Mary, and I don't remember if it got him or not, but anyway, Mary is stumbling around. I mean, you see, basically she's got the thing on her back, and then Scott and Gracie are driving down the road thinking, it's like, we've won a victory. They almost hit Mary as she just walks right out in front of them. She collapses, and you can see a giant leech on her back. Gracie screams, movie ends. So why did this movie suck? It does have one slight advantage, because from what I've read, the original Giant Leeches movie said that the leeches in that one look like a bunch of giant rubber rafts. Okay, maybe it doesn't have that much of an advantage, because this one, these in here, they look like they're either made out of plastic or some sort of old tires or something. I mean, these look really horrible. The acting, as you would expect, was really bad. Some likable characters, but all in all, just a really bad movie and a really bad remake. And I guess if you're trying to remake a low-budget horror movie from the 50s, you would at least try to maybe give the movie that you're trying to remake a little bit of justice and make it a little bit better. But I'm just afraid that they made this movie worse than the original. And I really do want to see the original, because if it has Roger Corman's name on it, you know it's going to be bad, but it's going to be fun at the same time. This did not have Roger Corman's name on it, unless you look at the end credits where it says something about it was remade under public domain, and to give Roger Corman credit because it said he was the one who originally made this movie. And I had to tell you guys, in all honesty, I don't know if Roger Corman ever saw this or not, but if he did, I'd really be too afraid to ask him what he thought of it. But this movie was really god-awful. Really bad acting. Sheriff Bucky is annoying. Gracie's dad is actually very likable in the movie. And you feel kind of bad when he gets killed off, too, because I did. I mean, I'm thinking, like, okay, all these other people get killed off in the movie, but Gracie's dad gets killed off, and I was like, that sucks. He was one of the few likable characters in this whole movie, but anyway, if you want to check it out, it's on the Kings of Horror channel right here on YouTube. Even though I ruined it for you, but maybe I saved you guys a little over, not quite an hour and a half, but close to an hour and a half, but I think about an hour and 15 minutes of wasted time. But there you guys have it, a review of Attack of the Giant Leeches, the 2008 remake, or 2012 remake, I'm not 100% sure, and doesn't really matter. If you like my videos, feel free to subscribe, and if you have a horror, sci-fi horror, comedy horror, or fantasy horror movie that could have been a remake of something that was bad, but when you saw the remake, you realized it was much worse, send it my way and I'll get on it ASAP. Thank you guys so very, very much for watching, and until next time, as always, stay strong and rock on, and carry lots of bug repellent and probably giant leech repellent too.